Hello everybody. Intention of this video is to introduce you to our central meditation practice or central meditation training. We used to call it intermediate meditation practice. Central meditation practice is very different from the foundational meditation practice you might have taken part in. The intention of foundational meditation is to help you reach the luminous mind, the Samadhi states of mind. So luminous mind or Samadhi states are temporary states. These are positive states. You would have tremendous positive experiences in these states, but they stay temporary. So when you do the meditations, you reach these states, and after a while you will come out of these states. Intention of the central meditation training is to help you get to awakened or enlightened states of mind. So enlightened states of mind are permanent states as opposed to the temporary states of luminous mind or Samadhi states. One important thing is, if you haven't gone through the foundational meditation practice or meditation training, I would recommend you do that, because we will not be repeating some of the material that we have already covered there. So what is meditation, how it works, so none of them will be repeated in this training. How this training is structured is, this is an 8-hour training conducted over 4 days. So we will cover certain theory aspects related to meditation practices. So when it comes to awakening meditations, changes quite a lot from whatever the basic meditations or foundational meditations that you have studied. The foundational meditation, as I said, the intention is to create temporary states, so they are useful as a stepping stone. But the intention of awakening meditations or enlightening meditations, basically the meditations that we cover in the central meditation training, is to help you go through a permanent positive transformation. So we are not talking about states here. We are not talking about you reaching a certain mental state for a brief period. Rather, we are talking about going through permanent experience of change. Now, historically, awakening and enlightenment was attached to religion. So, and pretty much all the religious practices have a mystical tradition. So, Buddhism has one. Leading to Buddhist enlightenment. Christians have one, the Muslim or Sufis have one, and then there are independent teachers also. And if you look at the religion by itself, which is very complex entity, and then the mystical traditions, you would note what we have realized is you do not need to know the whole religion to do the mystical practices. In fact, you don't even have to be a follower of that religion, and that's what we are going to make use of. So we are going to make use of the practices that comes in these different traditions, and then adopt them and making use of the meditation guidance provided in each of these traditions. So you don't have to change your religion or adopt a new religion to study this material or build a practice out of them. You would be very curious, why are we talking about building, getting to know about many different practices? The reason is, meditation, whether it is foundational meditation or central meditation, it is not one size fits all. So if you have been to foundational meditation training or basic meditation training, you would know that some meditations works like a charm for you, and other meditations you would struggle. That is quite natural, because all of us are very different from one another. So one meditation that works for one person might not work for the other person, and that's fine. Which is the same case with awakening meditations also. The one meditation practice that gives the perfect results for one person, the other person might struggle. And this is something that we have observed when people try to go through a religious path of awakening, because sometimes the tools and techniques available in that religious path, maybe the philosophy, maybe the practices themselves, may not be suitable for that person, and that person might eventually come to the conclusion, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'll have to do other work to get prepared to create this experience, which is not true. You just tried something that is not suitable for you. So intention of this training is to offer you a wider choice of practices. Now again, religion has a role to play, but this is not a religion class, so we are not going to teach you religion. That is not one of the intentions of the training. Our only intention is to get you to build a practice that lead you towards enlightenment. So some of the doctrine of the religion we will not use at all, and the doctrine or ideas or concepts that we need, we would teach it in a non-religious context. So as meditation instruction or meditation guidance. So in other words, we will be treating religion as a relative truth leading towards absolute truth, rather than treating religion as absolute truth that needs to be remembered. Which leads to another important aspects of this training. Something that you have noticed was people try to remember the philosophy. So they write it down, they by heart, they repeat to themselves the philosophy, the different ideas, the words, the flows, charts, lists. That's not that's not a way to build a good awakening meditation practice or enlightenment meditation practice. You need to build the practice. You need to have an understanding of how that practice works. So you need to know certain aspects of it. So that's what we call meditation guidance. You need to know why you do it and how it's supposed to work for you. You don't have to remember all that. So there's no complex spiritual verbal gymnastics here. So whatever that you need to know, we will explain to you in simpler language. So there is no expectation of having a certain religious or spiritual knowledge. Whatever you need to know to do a practice, we will be teaching it to you. So you will find techniques that are coming from Buddhism, both Theravada and Mahayana, Christian mysticism, Sufi, and also there are a lot of independent teachers. When we are picking these techniques, we also made sure these are repeatable, because there are some techniques that are extreme and probably not repeatable to get the results. It could be hit and a miss. So those techniques are not going to be there in this training. So all the techniques or all the meditation practices that we talk about and all the meditation guidance that you receive for those meditation practices, these are repeatable. A person, anybody can take it up and experiment with that, try it out and see whether it is something that they want to do, and if that is not what they want to do, we give you a wider choice to select from. It is since this is done 4 consecutive weeks, 2 hours for a session, 4 sessions. So it is very useful that you try out the meditations that we speak or share with you in a given session. So you get a whole week to try it out. Experiment with that, play around with that, so that when you get to the next session, you would have meaningful questions to ask, and with a good appetite to expand your knowledge. So in short, central meditation or intermediate meditation is for those who are either curious about awakening and enlightenment, or those who are keen on attaining that. However, whatever you are doing right now either is not giving you results or you are struggling with that. So this is for them. If you are looking for something else like mindfulness, we have other trainings, like please join foundational meditation first. There is entry criteria. We do not expect you to have any religious background. We don't expect you to change your religion, or we don't expect you to remember any religious phrases in this training. There is entry criteria for this training. So you need to have finished foundational meditation, but if you haven't finished foundational meditation, you need to have meditation practice that leads you to experience one stage or the other Luminous mind. So Luminous mind has very wide breadth of stages. You should be able to experience one of them with your meditation practice. So if you are through in one of these criteria, you can join this training program. So that is basically a lot of information about this training. So I'm very excited to share this content. We'll be talking about spirituality, meditation, different practices, what is spiritual wake up, what is spiritual growth. We will not be talking about religion, and we will not be using phrases from archaic languages. But if you have a question and if it is very relevant to the content that we cover, if you ask, we will answer that question if it is in the context. Otherwise, we will have to take it outside the class. So I will look forward to see you in the class and adding value to your life, helping you build a successful awakening meditation practice, and see you soon as an awakened human being in this earth. I'm Gamakasri, Chief Trainer and Coach for Mind Designs International. I'm a meditation teacher, NLP teacher, Reiki Grandmaster. Take care. Jai Sri.